Pecha Kucha 273, Master Asia and 7 Demon Shit Issue 1 storyboard. So I've spent most of this week trying to put down some of the ideas I have for how I think my book should start. Not because it's time to transition into doing the thumbnail sketches and then take it from there, but because it's just easier than stalling for time like I have been doing. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into the regular habit of the Tuesday Bisons. I'm actually not drawing my pictures of M. Bison on Tuesday. This week is Master Asia and M. Bison riding horses the way that real men ride horses. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the clip of Master Asia standing on his horse like this is like literally less than 1 second, but it's left an impact on me. And the daily sketches from last month with the horses is helping me draw my horses a little bit more like the horses. There's no need to say more than that. Thought I'd see if I could draw Master Asia looking a little less manga-like. And then I was like, yeah, this is nice, but we should probably go the other way and then just go fully commit to Master Asia the way he's meant to be drawn. In full stereo surround sound meme mode. One of the things about Master Asia is his head is regularly superimposed over things that aren't his body. As a art direction choice of the show, it's a meme and it's fucking brilliant because he's usually laughing and then things usually explode. Is there any wonder why Master Asia is my favorite character in the show? So the thing with me doing my storyboard is I'm still figuring out everything, character design, the plot, how to pace this thing, even what's going to happen. So I spend hours just like sort of messing around with Word documents, like, here are the ideas, how they fit together, these are the characters. But ultimately there comes a point where I have to start putting stuff down in visual form and see if it actually fits. So the first issue is Onokage from Tenshu, who I will change to be not Onokage from Tenshu, getting in a fight with the main character who has an army of bandits to fight him, with the ultimate goal of Onokage joining the party, so to speak, being where this ends up. So the idea of this is that I start the book with a fight. And it shows that the main character is a leader. He's resourceful. It shows that Onokage is a dangerous fighter. And, really the point of this storyboard is it's a thumbnail storyboard. So you're looking at all of these scribbles and you're just seeing scribbles, right? I can see what it is that I want these fully rendered pages to be. And very rarely will I draw any of these images strongly enough that you can see what it is. Because the issue of this is that almost every single part of these, the composition, the way the panels fit on the page, maybe even how this is spread over pages, it's all still up in the air until I'm confident that I've put down enough of it that I can start committing to the things I've put down. So ultimately, because seeing it doesn't make it make sense, the bandits surround Onokage. He's very aggressive. He fights them off, but he gets shot in the back by some archers. But before he falls down, he kind of does like a spinning bird kick out of it, and then ends up like kind of doing a full front flip over the lieutenant of the main character, who now the main character, he's not a fighter and he's exposed, and it's kind of like this is where the issue ends, and he has to kind of not die or there's no more book. Right? And also the fact that I've kind of organically come to a cliffhanger at the end of the first issue, the first 20-page subdivision of my trade paperback book, which is supposed to be 10 chapters, and each chapter is basically a comic book. I think this is the way that you're supposed to really be writing these things in a traditional shonen manga sense. When all is said and done, I don't know that this is going to be the thing that I thought it was going to be in terms of it being like a parody of manga. But at the end of the day, it will be done, and that's really what this is. The absolute most important thing is that I have this book in my hand to wave at people, a real physical book, no matter what it costs in terms of time, effort, and money. And I'm sure of all of those things it will cost too much. But this has been a very productive week. I also did a second Bison because I think the first Bison was probably last week's. He's on the golf course. A lot of these things, it's like I'm just trying to keep my hand moving as long as I can before I kind of think I've had enough of like having to try and make things look good. You get so much value just slapping a load of color on bad artwork. It's my bread and butter. But I do think that ultimately one of the most successful things for me going forward is going to be to train my body to do the art and then leave my mind out of it, because thinking about this shit's what I've done for the last 15 years, and that's why I have such a small body of work. I also did a few headshots of Onokage, just kind of experimenting with like, how do I taper his hair? How manga-like should his eyes be? You know, how hard are we going with the cheekbones? I want him to be intimidating and scary, but I think he should be sexy to a point. Got to figure it out. God is in the details, as they say. And I also drew some pictures of the Punisher for no real reason. I just think, you know, this week there's a lot of me showing stuff that doesn't make a lick of sense to you. So let's have some stuff that actually looks like maybe it's stuff. And I also watched Chris from Comic Tropes talk about the origin of the Hobgoblin and how the character kind of got killed by creative differences behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff in my YouTube feed these days about Marvel and DC and how editorial decisions have kind of hamstrung the entire comic book industry. But it, you know, I don't want to be cynical about it or anything. It's a credit to Chris, the work he put in to explain this with excellent context and good sourcing. If I was going to be doing video essays, I'd do them like this. So that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 273, and I will see you next time.